Hello, my name is Fionnuala McKinley and I live on the shores of Carnfordock. Today I'm going to tell you a story about smells. Now smells, we all love a nice smell. Candles are very popular today. We smell fruit, we smell flowers, all kinds of things. And smells invoke feelings in us, whether it be memories from the past or thoughts of things to come, of spring to come. If we get a bunch of flowers, we might smell the roses and think, summer's coming. This is a story, and I find this story from Sharon Creedon, and she has a lot of stories about justice, and this is one of them. Once upon a time, there was a baker, and he was a very, very good baker. He made wonderful bread. People came from miles around for his bread, and it smelled gorgeous. People would be walking down the street with no thoughts of needing bread, and they would smell his bread and go, I must go and get some. Now, apparently his raisin and cinnamon bread was divine. And the baker loved selling bread. He sold lots of bread. But he noticed that sometimes people came down the street, stood outside his door and went, oh, it's just so gorgeous, and didn't buy bread. And he thought, they're stealing from me. They're stealing the smell of my bread. They're filling their bellies with the smell of my bread. And that didn't go down well with him at all. One morning, very early, he was kneading bread. Now, people talk about kneading love into bread, kneading happiness into bread. Well, he didn't really do that. He moaned and groaned about the cost of flour, the cost of the firewood. He moaned about people not paying for the smell of the bread. And he was thinking, if I could capture the smell of that bread, put it in bottles, put corks on it, I could sell it. But he hadn't quite worked out how to do that when he noticed a man at the window. The man was very shabbily dressed, his coat looked really old, and he was holding it around him because it was very early and he was trying to keep himself warm. And the baker saw him taking a deep, deep breath and going, holding it and letting it out. And then another deep breath and letting it go. And he got really mad. He's stealing the smell of my bread, and he went charging out of the shop, grabbed the man and said, pay me now. And the man said, why? I haven't bought anything. You've stolen from me. I haven't stolen anything. You've stolen the smell of my bread. And the man looked at him and thought, no, I haven't stolen the smell of your bread. And I've no money anyway. Pay now or I'll take you to the magistrate. And the man said, well, I don't have any money to pay you. So he grabbed his coat, grabbed him by the lapel of his coat, and he pulled him through the snow. It was a cold, cold morning. And he dragged this poor man to the magistrate's house. And he banged on the door. And the magistrate wasn't too happy, like being pulled out of bed at 5 a.m. And he came down and he said, what is the matter? What's the problem? And the baker said, arrest this man. He's stolen from me. And the magistrate said, oh, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. He was still in his nightshirt. And he said, well, come in and tell me all about it, but I have to go and get dressed. And he went up and he pulled some clothes. You can still see his nightshirt underneath them. And he put a wig on. His hair was sticking out underneath it, a bit like mine under this hat. And he came back down. He said, tell me now. So they both told their stories. And they told them once, they told them twice. And the baker was about to head into a third time when he said, that's enough. The magistrate said, I have made my decision. And the baker said, well, what is it? So the magistrate turned to the man and he said, do you have any money? And he said, only these coins, my lord. And he handed him 2 coins. And the magistrate said, great, I'll have those. And he put them in his hand. And the baker held out his hand and he said, well, give me my money. It's not the money, it's the principle. And the magistrate said, yes, I agree, it is indeed the principle. So my decision is that the cost of the smell of your bread, and I want you to listen closely to what I have to say. The cost of the smell of your bread is the sound of these coins. And he shook the coins. And the baker said, yeah, but give me my money. And the magistrate said, no. The cost of the smell of your bread is the sound of these coins. And he jiggled them again, and then he gave them back to the poor man. Well, the baker was furious, and the magistrate said, "That is my final decision. That is a fair and just decision. The cost of the smell is the sound of the money. Now you both need to get out of here and I go and get dressed for the day." And that is the end of the story.